Hey, this is your good friend Arnie. Jahns told me to tell you that he would love to review my new movie, Old Man Still Kicks Ass, or as people like to call it, Last Stand. But unfortunately, he's gonna be in Los Angeles, California for the next few days, so he can't do it until he gets back. But until then, he's going to review a movie for you that is completely fucking forgettable. So let's do it! Ah!
Broken City. So Broken City stars Mark Wahlberg and Russell Crowe. Mark Wahlberg's kind of like Dirty Harry. Russell Crowe's a really corrupt-ass politician. So then after getting canned, Mark Wahlberg becomes a PI and Russell Crowe hires him to investigate his wife, who's Catherine Zeta-Jones. And then after that, you got a lot of corruption and cops and dirty politics and just a bunch of things that you're like, oh, that's interesting, that's interesting, that's interesting, if done well. However, it's in this movie that's just a convoluted mess. Best way I can put it. I mean, really, tough cop who's kind of a dirty cop, but a guy you can root for. Interesting for a movie. Corrupt politician whose wife's sleeping around behind his back and he wants her investigated. Interesting enough for a movie. Not really that interesting though. Or another cop who may be a dirty cop, maybe he's not a dirty cop, who's owned by a mayor and they got that whole thing going on in election season. Okay. Interesting enough, right? Not enough for this movie. This is one of those movies where you look at the cast and you're like, Russell Crowe gets work, Mark Wahlberg gets work. At what point were they like, I'm gonna do this smart career move and be in this movie? Catherine Zeta-Jones, I understand. She's had a couple of straight to DVD releases lately and I get it. She's like, I'm starting to look the age where it's socially acceptable for Michael Douglas to be married to me, so she needs work. She can't rely on her looks forever. This movie's directed by one of the Hughes brothers. He's one of the guys who directed From Hell, Book of Eli. You need the whole team to make a good movie with these guys. Otherwise, you get one guy who makes Broken City. When I say the movie's a sloppy mess, I really mean it's a sloppy mess. I mean, Mark Wahlberg has this girlfriend, who his girlfriend is, works for the movie. She's an actress. He sees her in a movie. He just freaks out about it. He's a recovering alcoholic, but then he goes on a drinking binge, and then now it's this thing where you're like, oh, he fell off the wagon. But after that, every time you see him pop a drink, it's just no big deal. He's like, well, I guess I do this again. Yoink. All right, I guess we were made to care for 1 second. Now we just don't give a shit that he is getting drunk. I can just see the pitch meeting for this. Like, yeah, Mark Wahlberg falls off the wagon, and he's a mess, and he's a wreck. Someone else is like, well, does he drink throughout the movie, or is it just like a one-time thing? Oh, I guess I didn't think about that. Yeah, he drinks throughout the movie, sure. I mean, are we supposed to care about that? Is it business as usual, only now he has a glass of scotch, or how does this work? I don't know, shut up, okay? Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're thinking too deep into it. It's a movie, for God's sakes. Another thing is the trailer shows too much. You're not supposed to know where people are coming from for the first half of the movie, which makes you feel kind of in the dark and you wonder why you give a shit and why you're watching the movie, but the point is you're supposed to be in the dark. But if you saw the trailer, you know who the douchebags are and who the douchebags aren't, and then what happens? Mark Wahlberg's like, I'm gonna take this action. It's the last 15 minutes of the movie, but hey, I saw this in the trailer. It's one of those movies, it's about an hour and 45-minute long movie. Watch the trailer, save yourself an hour 42.5 minutes. Best advice I can give you. You've seen the premise of this movie 100 times on television. Perfect for television. As a movie, you walk out going, well, that's why I stick to TV. I will say Broken City is not dog shit, but you're still not gonna remember it in T-minus 15 minutes. Yep, already forgot that shit. All right, so your favorite dirty cop movie, whatever it may be, comment below, let me know. Don't know why I asked that. It's really not a dirty cop movie, but it's what I choose to ask. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.